Everyone, thank you for being here today. Whether you're striving for a personal breakthrough, professional growth, or simply trying to become a better version of yourself, this message is for you. So here is my challenge to you. Take the next 30 days and follow this 1-month success plan. Success doesn't need to be years away. It can begin today with a clear goal, consistent habits, and the courage to try. Remember, 1 month of focus can put you 1 year ahead. 1 month of discipline can change your life. Your time is now. Let's make it count. Defining your success clearly is the most critical first step in any personal or professional journey. Without a precise understanding of what success means to you, your efforts can become scattered, inconsistent, and ultimately unfulfilling. It's like setting out on a road trip with no destination. Sure, you'll move, but you'll likely go in circles or end up somewhere you never intended to be. When you take the time to define your success clearly, you're not just choosing a destination. You're also creating a compass that guides every action, decision, and mindset shift over the next 30 days and beyond. Success is a deeply personal concept. For one person, it may mean getting in shape or improving mental health. For another, it could be launching a side business, rebuilding a relationship, or saving a specific amount of money. The key is not what your goal is, but how clearly and specifically you can articulate it. Saying, "I want to be healthier," is vague and easy to ignore. Saying, "I want to lose 8 pounds in 30 days by walking 10,000 steps a day and reducing sugar intake," is something your brain can actually work with. It gives you measurable outcomes, daily action steps, and a way to track progress. This level of clarity transforms abstract intentions into actionable objectives, and into actionable objectives. When defining success, it's also important to ask yourself why this particular goal matters to you. Your why is the emotional driver behind your plan. It's what will keep you going when your motivation dips, or when things get inconvenient or hard. Maybe your reason is to feel more confident, to set a good example for your kids, to gain financial freedom, or simply to prove to yourself that you can finish what you start. It's understanding once you've clearly defined your goal, the next crucial step in a 1-month success plan is to break it down into weekly milestones. This process turns a 30-day challenge into manageable, focused segments that build momentum and reduce overwhelm. Trying to tackle an entire goal at once often leads to frustration, burnout, or giving up too soon. But when you break it into 4 smaller phases, 1 for each week, you give yourself a structure that is easier to follow, easier to track, and much more motivating. Think of your overall goal as a staircase. You don't leap to the top, you take 1 step at a time. Each weekly milestone is a step, and each step brings you closer to the outcome you want. Let's say your 30-day goal is to write the first draft of a short novel. That's a big task. But if you divide it into weekly goals, such as writing 5,000 words per week, you suddenly have a practical plan. Week 1, get your outline and first few chapters written. Week 2, develop the main conflict. Week 3, resolve subplots. Week 4, wrap up and revise. This structure gives your brain something it can follow without feeling overwhelmed by the total word count. Weekly milestones also give you the chance to celebrate progress. One of the biggest reasons people abandon their goals is the feeling that they are not getting anywhere fast enough. When you set smaller weekly targets and hit them, you experience wins early and often. That boost of confidence and dopamine is fuel. It keeps you engaged and moving forward. You begin to trust yourself, and trust builds consistency. It's also important to keep your weekly milestones realistic. Don't overload yourself. Choose targets that are challenging but achievable within your available time and energy. If you work full-time or have family responsibilities, plan accordingly. You're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for steady, sustainable progress. If your goal is fitness, maybe week 1 is about consistency. Working out 4 times. Week 2, add intensity or duration. Week 3, focus on nutrition. Week 4, push to your goal without overwhelming you. Breaking your plan into weeks also allows for flexibility and reflection. Life isn't always predictable. Maybe week 2 didn't go as planned. You got sick, work was hectic, or motivation dipped. That's okay. Weekly milestones let you adjust without losing sight of the bigger picture. You can reset, realign, and move forward with clarity. To stay on track, it helps to write your milestones down and review them at the start of each week. Treat your weekly plan like a commitment. Schedule it, prioritize it, and treat it as non-negotiable. When you finish each week, take a moment to reflect. What worked? What needs improvement? Then use those insights to plan the next week even better. Breaking your 30-day goal into weekly milestones is not just a strategy, it's a mindset. It shifts your focus from, I have so far to go, to, look how far I've come. And with each passing week, success stops being a distant idea and starts becoming your new reality. Committing to a daily habit is the heartbeat of any one-month success plan. It is the repeated action that brings structure, momentum, and consistency to your goal. While setting clear intentions and weekly milestones lays the foundation, it is the simple act of showing up every day that truly drives transformation. Daily habits create rhythm, and rhythm builds discipline. Something far more reliable than fleeting motivation. A daily habit doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming to be powerful. In fact, the most effective habits are often simple actions that are easy to repeat. The key is consistency. Whether your goal is physical fitness, personal growth, productivity, or emotional well-being, one intentional action every day keeps your mind engaged, your progress steady, and your purpose alive. For example, if your goal is to improve your mental health, your daily habit might be 10 minutes of journaling or meditation. If your goal is to become more organized, it could be reviewing your to-do list each morning. Small acts done consistently yield massive results over time. The beauty of a daily habit lies in its compound effect. One workout doesn't change your body, just as one productive day doesn't build a career. But repeated daily effort rewires your behavior and reshapes your identity. Every time you perform that habit, you're reinforcing the message to yourself. I'm the kind of person who follows through. This shift in self-image is more powerful than the outcome itself. You become someone who takes action consistently, and that identity will serve you far beyond your 30-day plan. Another benefit of daily habits is how they reduce the friction of decision-making. When something becomes part of your daily routine, you no longer waste energy deciding whether to do it. You simply do it. This frees up mental energy for other tasks and minimizes the chance of skipping important steps. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't negotiate with yourself about whether or not to do it. You just do it because it's automatic. That's the goal with your daily habit. Make it so regular it feels like part of who you are. To succeed, start with a habit that's realistic. If you aim too high, too quickly, like reading for an hour a day when you're not used to reading at all, you risk burning out. Instead, start small. Read 10 pages, do 5 push-ups, write 100 words. Part of your daily life, you can build on it. Master consistency first. Intensity can come later. Accountability helps too. Track your habit on a calendar or in a journal. Seeing a chain of successful days grow can be incredibly motivating. If possible, tell someone about your habit or find a community working toward a similar goal. Sharing your commitment adds a layer of accountability that increases your likelihood of sticking with it. In the end, a daily habit is a promise you make to yourself. One that builds self-trust, sharpens focus, and fuels progress. It's less about the task itself and more about proving to yourself that you can show up day after day. When you honor that commitment for 30 days, you build more than momentum. You build a new version of yourself. One small action at a time. Tracking everything is one of the most underestimated yet powerful tools in achieving any goal, especially within a 1-month success plan. It transforms your daily actions from vague efforts into measurable progress. Without tracking, it's easy to fool yourself into thinking you are doing more than you are, or worse, to miss small wins that can build momentum. But when you commit to tracking everything, your habits, your actions, your setbacks, and your victories, you create a feedback loop that keeps you grounded, focused, and honest with yourself. One of the most immediate benefits of tracking is clarity. Let's say your goal is to improve your physical fitness. You could work out when you feel like it and hope for the best, or you could track how many workouts you do each week, how long they last, and how your body responds. Suddenly you have data. You can see patterns. You can identify what's working and what's not. Maybe you perform better with morning workouts. Maybe you're appropriately with your food life. Maybe you're more consistent when you prep your gym clothes the night before. You'd never notice these trends without tracking. It brings visibility to your behavior, and with visibility comes control. Tracking also reinforces accountability. When you write something down, whether in a journal, a spreadsheet, or a habit tracking app, you're making a psychological commitment. You're saying, this matters enough for me to monitor. That small act of recording your efforts keeps you connected to your goal, even on days when motivation runs low. It's easy to skip a workout or eat junk food if no one knows. But if you're logging everything daily, you're far more likely to stay consistent simply because you don't want to break the chain. The act of tracking becomes its own form of motivation. Another crucial reason to track everything is that it gives you a sense of progress, even when results aren't immediately visible. Some goals, like saving money, losing weight, or learning a new skill, don't offer instant gratification. You might feel like you're getting nowhere, but when you look at your tracker and see 14 days of consistent effort, that visual proof is encouraging. It shows that you're doing the work and the results are coming, even if they haven't arrived yet. Progress is often invisible in the short term, but tracking makes it visible. Tracking also prepares you for course correction. If something isn't working, the numbers will show it. You'll be able to pivot and adjust before you waste too much time on ineffective strategies. For example, if your goal is to write a book in 30 days, and by week 2, you've only written 2,000 words, that's a clear sign you need to revise your approach. In HEDI, you need to block more time in your schedule or eliminate distractions. Without tracking, you might not realize you're falling behind until it's too late. Lastly, tracking builds self-awareness. You learn how you function, what time of day you're most productive, what triggers cause you to get off track, and what rewards keep you going. That self-acknowledge is powerful, and it extends far beyond the 30-day window. It helps you set better goals in the future, manage your energy, and understand what success looks like in your unique life. In the end, tracking everything isn't just about numbers. It's about staying connected to your purpose, recognizing your effort, and adjusting with intention. It turns your plan from a vague wish into a measurable journey, and that's when real success becomes possible. Eliminating one distraction for 30 days can be a game-changing move in your success plan. While it's common to focus on what actions to add, like new habits, routines, or goals, what you remove can be just as powerful. Distractions quietly steal your time, energy, and focus. They may seem harmless in small doses, but over time, they add up and erode your productivity and mental clarity. By intentionally cutting out even just one major distraction, you create space for deeper focus, better results, and stronger self-control. Distractions come in many forms. For some people, it's scrolling through social media. For others, it's binge-watching TV, constantly checking their phone, unnecessary online shopping, or engaging in negative conversations. These distractions may provide quick comfort or entertainment, but they often pull you away from the things that matter. When you eliminate even one of them, you free up mental and emotional bandwidth that can be redirected toward your goal. It's not just about having more time, it's about having more presence and intentionality with the time you already have. Choosing the right distraction to eliminate depends on your lifestyle and goals. It should be something that consumes a significant amount of your attention or energy without contributing to your growth. Ask yourself, what's one thing I do regularly that leaves me feeling drained, distracted, or regretful afterward? The answer to that question is often the best place to start. It might be checking your phone first thing in the morning, which sets a reactive tone for the day. Or maybe it's late night screen time that disrupts your sleep and leaves you tired the next day. The goal is not to punish yourself, but to make room for what really matters. Once you've identified the distraction, create a plan to eliminate or reduce it. This might mean deleting an app, setting screen time limits, turning off notifications, or creating physical boundaries, like charging your phone in another room. If the distraction is more psychological, such as self-doubt or overthinking, consider strategies like journaling or reflecting and adjusting weekly is one of the most important practices you can adopt during a 1-month success plan. While setting goals and building habits are crucial, progress is rarely linear. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans need to be revisited and refined. Weekly reflection gives you the chance to pause, observe, and recalibrate before small problems become big setbacks. It transforms your plan from something rigid and overwhelming into a living system that adapts to your needs, strengths, and challenges. The process of reflection is simple but powerful. Set aside a consistent time each week, perhaps Sunday evening or Monday morning, when you can step away from distractions and honestly assess how things are going. Start by reviewing your progress. Did you complete your daily habit each day? Did you meet your weekly milestone? What went well? What didn't? This is not about judging yourself or beating yourself up over what you didn't do. It's about gaining insight. Self-awareness is the engine of growth, and weekly reflection keeps that engine running smoothly. One of the key benefits of reflecting weekly is that it helps you stay connected to your goal. In the rush of everyday life, it's easy to lose sight of why you started. Weekly check-ins allow you to reconnect with your purpose and remind yourself what you're working toward. This sense of renewed motivation can be especially important when you're in the middle of the journey, where excitement may have faded and the finish line still feels far away. Reflecting reminds you that you're making progress, even if it's slower or harder than expected. After reflection comes adjustment. This is where growth becomes practical. If something isn't working, change it. Maybe you plan to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to exercise, but you keep hitting snooze. Rather than giving up, adjust your plan. Maybe 6:30 IMing is more realistic for your current routine. Or perhaps evening workouts fit better with your energy levels. The key is flexibility. Stubbornly sticking to a failing plan out of pride or fear of failure is not strength. It's resistance to progress. Adjustment is not quitting, it's optimizing. Weekly adjustments also allow you to try new strategies. If you're not enjoying your daily habit, consider modifying it. If your weekly milestone felt too ambitious, scale it back slightly. If it was too easy, raise the bar. Let each week teach you something new about how you operate. This feedback loop, act, reflect, adjust, is how real transformation happens. It creates a cycle of continuous improvement that doesn't stop after 30 days. Additionally, writing down your reflections can deepen the learning. A journal or notes app can capture your thoughts, challenges, and small victories. Over time, you build a record of your journey that shows not just your results, but your resilience. That's valuable insight you can carry into future goals. In short, reflecting and adjusting weekly ensures that your plan stays alive, flexible, and aligned with your evolving reality. It teaches you to listen to yourself, to learn from your actions, and to grow intentionally. Success is not just about effort, it's about awareness. And when you build that awareness into your weekly rhythm, you turn a 1-month plan into a lifelong habit of self-mastery.